Good evening. I regret that I can't be with you in person tonight to honor Brian Terry, a man of extraordinary character and uncommon valor, who died as he lived his life in service to our country. And also to honor my good friend, former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, a person of exceptional courage and a strong supporter of the men and women of the United States Border Patrol. Quite frankly, I'd much rather be with you this evening, but as you probably know, critical votes in Congress to keep our government in operation have kept me in Washington, D.C. I am pleased to join with all of you and the Brian Terry Foundation to express our appreciation and our gratitude for all who are being honored tonight. Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, Cheryl Atkinson, the members of Tucson Sector Border Patrol, Tactical Unit and RIP Crew Targeting Group, and Sue Krentz. Each of you honor Brian Terry by the work you do each day on behalf of our community. It has been less than 3 years since Brian Terry was murdered, but tonight's event is just one of the many steps that have been taken to ensure that his memory and his brave service to our nation will never be forgotten. The Brian Terry Foundation, which is the beneficiary of tonight's event, has been created to honor Brian's service and to create a living legacy in his name. Tonight, we honor Brian Terry's service to the United States as a member of the Border Patrol, but that was only one way in which he showed his love for and dedication to our nation. Brian joined the United States Marine Corps right out of high school, and then he went to college and earned a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice so he could become a local police officer in his home state of Michigan. But Brian wanted to have even more of an impact in keeping the people of the United States safe, so he joined the Border Patrol. And when he wanted to do even more, he had joined the elite BORTAC Tactical Unit, proudly wearing the unit's winged insignia. The courage and dedication to duty exhibited by Agent Brian Terry are hallmarks of the everyday work of our Border Patrol agents. It is a privilege to speak to you tonight as a member of the House Committee on Homeland Security and ranking member of the Oversight and Management Efficiency Subcommittee, and as a very strong supporter of the brave men and women of the Border Patrol and the work they do every day to protect our homeland and our communities. Just a year ago, we were here for the first Brian Terry Foundation dinner, and I had the distinct honor of presenting posthumously the Congressional Badge of Bravery to Brian Terry. You'll remember that the medal was proudly received by Brian's nephew, Logan Willis. Tonight, I am so pleased to present the Courage and Heroism in the Community Award to someone who has not just been my dear friend and mentor, but who has been a consistent ally of the Border Patrol agents and their important mission. When Gabby was a member of Congress, she introduced legislation that resulted in $600 million in emergency appropriations to put more agents, technology, and other assets on our southern border. The Southwest Border Security Bill authorized the hiring of 1,000 new Border Patrol agents, as well as additional immigration and customs enforcement agents. New communications gear, surveillance equipment, forward operating bases, drug enforcement agents, teams to halt cross-border gun running, and at least 30 additional prosecutors and immigration judges were also included in the bill. Congresswoman Giffords said she considered the money a down payment on the long overdue efforts to secure our border, and I couldn't agree more. Pushing through that funding in Washington was one example of the courage that Gabrielle Giffords has exhibited. She fought the status quo in Washington to get help for her constituents and the protection they deserved. The Congressman took this action following the murder of another pillar of our community, Rob Krentz. We honor his widow, Sue, tonight with the Profiles in Courage Award. Gabby and I were met with hundreds of Cochise County ranchers and families in the schoolyard of the Apache Schoolhouse following Rob's death. We shared the pain of a community deprived of one of its best, and we continue to grieve with Rob's widow, Sue, and family members and friends, and we are committed to doing everything possible to stop the drug cartels and ensure the safety of border residents. Rob had been a participant in the many meetings Gabby held with ranchers. She knew that the only way she could effectively represent the residents along the border was to hear from them firsthand about what was happening on the ground. It was that same kind of dedication to hearing from the people she represented that drove her to hold that fateful Congress on Your Corner on January 8, 2011. Since then, she has inspired the nation with her courage, intrepid spirit, and determination. As Gabby's husband, Mark Kelly, has said, Gabby works harder in 1 minute of an hour, fighting to make each individual moment count for something, than most of us work in an entire day. Gabby is my role model every day in Washington, and I know that her courage has inspired more people around the world than she will ever know. On behalf of the Brian Terry Foundation, it is my profound honor to present to Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords the Brian Terry Courage and Heroism in the Community Award. And I've asked my wife Nancy to present the award to Gabby on my behalf. I want to thank you all for being here tonight and for your support for the important work of the Brian Terry Foundation.